Alrighty, what's going on, Dave? Letting people get in here. How you guys doing? So the top ones that we've been wanting to add, BBAI is up 5%, Soundhound is up almost 7%. Those are top two that we want. Soundhound looks like it's going to keep the diamond this week. Based on what I'm seeing, it looks like it should keep it. So this will be one we want to be looking to add. I'm going to go over it all. Yeah, Pat, this is when you can start feeling things are changing in the market. This is the thing. I don't try to time it, right? I want to wait for these little momentum diamonds to populate. Same thing if I look at BBAI, if you take a look at this trend line I have here, okay? Bottom, okay? The main bottom and the main bottom right now, okay? And it was resistance before. So we're landing right here again on BBAI. Again, the diamond might not populate and time the bottom, but you can, there's usually on the weekly time frame, it's a bigger picture, bigger momentum. So as these things are populating, volume's increasing, we're at the bottom here. Okay. We're going to have some sort of a relief rally of some sort. And I think these are just great levels to dollar cost average down, or to at least start positions. The downside is very little compared to the amount of upside, right? We've already done the whole downside part for the most part. Now we've started seeing all the, wars ending, China's not giving guns. Then we're talking about rate cuts coming into play, and that's why our financials are going to start doing the biggest recoveries out of all the sectors, is because this is now the next focus, is how do we cut interest rates? How do mortgage rates come down? All those kind of topics. Both are super speculative. If I was to do them, it's going to be like less than 5% of my portfolio. BBAI, I'll give you the rundown on BBAI. Okay. Pretty much, I guess the main topic was always the border with Trump. It's always been just security, cybersecurity. I guess you can put all type of securities, but AI platform for security. It's mainly known for airports security. But the main thing for BBAI that gets me the most excited. Now we made money on BBI in the past. My first buy on BBAI was $1.88, somewhere in this range, and then we got to sell somewhere in like the sevens. So, and then we bought some more again at 4 and then sold again at 7. So we've done fairly well with that one. That's why it stays on my list, is because when something follows the indicator very well on the weekly time frame, again, above the blue line, right? We're not following a weekly, but below, right? When it follows it well, I want to stay in that company and watch it. Okay. Same thing like SoFi. I'm bullish on SoFi in general, but SoFi's chart, it follows the diamonds on the weekly time frame so well. Right? Boom, boom, boom. And now we're back here. So ready to rally again. But for BBAI, let me just pull up and ask questions, guys, in the chat right now, so that way I can like have a list of questions if you guys have questions or why I'm doing certain things. Is it late to get into sound? No. Nope, not late. Not late. Now, again, things have ran. Is there a chance that some small pullback happens? Sure. Is it something you're going to be down 50% on your position? No. You're going to be down maybe, I don't know, 8% or something. Like, it's nothing crazy, right? I'm not trying to time the bottom, but the majority of that upside on like Soundhound, for example, that we've looked at, okay, here's the top, okay, bottom, if that is the bottom, okay, then we have till 18 or something. No, you're not late. The moving average that we like to use to stay above and below it is 12. So no, you're not late whatsoever, right? Just gotta think risk reward. Gotta like the company long term, right? Could you wait for a red day? Sure. I don't know when that red day is going to come. Just like last April, all the people that were waiting for the red days. It kind of probably just got away from them and they couldn't pull themselves to buy it because it just kept going. That's why, like, last night I was like, you know what, SoFi, if it goes red, goes, but I just want to own it because I just believe in the company so much. BBAI CEO background. I think their AI should populate it pretty, or I think they have it too. Okay. This is all I needed to know to kind of understand why BBAI could potentially become a monster. Okay. Potential. I'm not saying put all eggs in one basket, right? This is potential, but this new CEO took over about a year ago, maybe a little bit more now. The previous CEO left a spreadsheet of financials, a complete mess. So he's been cleaning that up. And now I think they're on their way to actually focusing on advancing the business after cleaning up the mess that was left behind. Okay. Kevin, that's the CEO, 2 decades of leadership with the U.S. government. His first career civil servant to be appointed confirmed commissioner of the U.S. Customs and Border Protection in 2018. So their company focuses on border protection, AI as well. And he was commissioner of the U.S. Border Protection in 2018, which is also the year Trump was in office. There's a connection there. He served most recently as acting secretary of U.S. Department of Homeland Security, also under President Donald Trump, where he led 240,000 employees and oversaw operations. Transportation Security Administration, TSA, which he's involved in airports with the BBAI, so that's why. U.S. Coast Guard, Cybersecurity, Infrastructure Security Agency, Secret Services, and others. The dude has a resume, okay? BBAI is him, but as a software for companies. So I think he probably realized, hey, my job's going to be taken over by a company like this. Let me just go ahead and run that kind of company, would be my assumption. He's the reason why I would invest into the company. With his connections into the government and them needing government contracts, or getting government contracts. My buddy's also a pilot airlines, and he's like, yeah, BBAI is all in our airports. So yeah, Nvidia crushed them on their last run. SoundHound was invested by Nvidia, and then Nvidia pulled their investment because obviously they bought, probably was this $2, and then it ran to 24. Nvidia said we sold, and then it dropped, and then they kind of restarted their own journey without Nvidia backing them. The problem I have with SoundHound is that their PR team sucks. So like when they announce a deal, they go, hey, we just signed a new contract or a new partner with Five Guys. Okay, Five Guys fast food restaurant. There's no numbers involved with their contracts. We don't know what that contract brings them. So it just says, hey, we have a new partner. The stock does nothing when they announce those. So that's the part that sucks. So I don't really know what's driven the stock in the past. As far as what news, besides like this was the week before earnings, and then earnings happened, and then we rallied, and the whole market rallied. So that's the part that their PR team, when it comes to announcing contracts, kind of sucks. BBAI is a little bit better, but this is not the bottom that it could potentially go to. Just know that. All of these technically have one more leg down, if needed. If the market was to hit, I guess the next dip down would be considered like a recession status. So if we think that's going to happen, which I don't think is going to happen, again, Trump cares way too much about the market. Otherwise, he wouldn't make all these comments about it all the time. So I just don't think that plays out that way. These things are significantly down. When people are like, are we too late? Guys, we are so far down from highs. It is insane, right? This was 8. It's 3. You're not late. You did your due diligence and stayed patient to make sure that the market conditions weren't going to worsen. Okay. But company, I think back-to-back beat on earnings when the company was, before the CEO and cleaning up this mess, was significantly getting hammered. Now they are beating them, not by a large margin, but they're getting better. And that's all you want to see is constant improvement. Again, 33% down from year to date. You're getting deals still on everything. Okay. Only thing I'm not buying are companies anywhere near their highs. The same way, like I posted a chart today, guys. UUU is breaking out. Okay. We can go to the weekly time frame. I can go to the daily time frame. Okay. Daily time frame. Here you go. Boom. Breaking out. Again, breaking out. Okay. But all-time high is 27. Like I get there's upside, but like 32% to the all-time high. I'm not too interested. I know rare earths are important. I think that this will break above all-time highs, but I really have a concentrated portfolio, guys. Like if you take a look, I'll show you guys a recap of my portfolio, and you guys are more. I like BBAI sector as well. And guys, ask your questions. And Dog, your question today was about, SoFi went up. Again, pre-market activity is always low volume. Right at open, it could dump, bot, and then go back up. So you can always watch for the second the market opens, movement will happen because it's just low volume, and then everyone has orders in for the second market opens. So then the stock does some weird stuff. That's why I typically don't like to buy within the first 30 minutes of the market, because I want to know where the true volume is taking us versus, right, assuming that's going to happen in the first 30 minutes. And really that was the trap to where the stock was going to go. And then it actually goes the opposite way. So I like to wait 30 minutes, especially for the option stuff. But for your example, Dog, you were asking about SoFi. So when your premiums, okay, when the stock goes up, I bought it 1832, I think is what I said. And it's at 1860. Well, if you buy at 1860, okay, and the market opens at 1860, okay, those premiums, you know how they increase when the stock goes up? Well, the premiums got better too. So the margin of like change in between the price going up and the premiums going up, it's a very subtle different move to the point where it's not something I stress about. Now, if I bought it at 1832 and you're thinking, okay, let me do it and it's 21, right? That's a whole different thing. But when we're I don't pinch pennies. I don't worry about the pennies to pinch. Because then you'll drive yourself crazy in the market and try to get one penny. Just like Banning Capital's not in this live stream, but he had an order in last night to buy SoFi at 18. It got to 1802. Stop pinching pennies. Okay. If you say 18, guess what? The market's not going to get there. Put 1810. Okay. Just stop worrying about the pennies. Unless you're with Damien and you're doing some crazy day trades and just pennies matter in that instance, sure. But I'm not pinching pennies. I want to go over any strategies, any questions. So I guess here's the first one because I know it's a big one. Keeping Oscar under watch, no position. Based on recent run and earnings coming up, CSP or buy would make sense. I know cover call. I know CC is ideal now. Yeah, so I Oscar just got a diamond last week, and it really hasn't moved since the diamond. So I have covered calls on Oscar for 17. Okay. It broke out, right? Downtrend breakout. If you go to our regular candles, there is a gap to fill for Oscar. Doesn't mean it's going to, but 1325, okay, is the gap fill. Okay, came up, basically is rejecting this. Could it come down to the 1325? Absolutely, right? Earnings is coming up, but it's still 21 days away, so 3 weeks worth. So they can definitely manipulate the stock to go down to then go back up. I have a covered call. I don't mind selling Oscar for 17 right here with my premium, making it about 18, where all this resistance tends to hit. Could it go higher? Absolutely. Okay. Again, I'm all about protecting myself to the downside while collecting a good amount of money to the upside within 30 days, right? So, for example, Dog, what we're doing, right, with SoFi, I didn't place the covered call. Again, I'm super bullish on SoFi. There's a lot of gaps because a lot of things gapped up when the hype of the war was over, right? So there's a lot of gaps. But for me, okay, or I guess the most recent one was Iran, the one I did. But You could do these, buy these now, and then set $21 covered calls. Okay. And what I'm doing is the opposite, I guess, of what a CSP is. And I'm going to pull up and kind of demonstrate it for you guys too. All right. So for example, okay. Oh, dog, you got into those lottos? Yeah, definitely take your win today. Hold on, just got to work email, but I want to go over this options here. Um so let's see here. All right. So what happened here? So if you did, for example, the same exact play, okay, but a CSP version versus a covered call version. Okay. When I am hesitant on the market, okay, like we were 2 weeks ago, right? I'm doing CSPs because I want to buy it. I want to buy it for cheap, right? But I don't want to just own them outright yet because I want the market to have time to do what it's going to do, figure out what it wants to do, right? So typically I would start with a CSP. Obviously, a red day would be the ideal, but just for an example, right? I would do a 30 delta. It's going to pay me 25 cents. Okay. Oh, sorry, that's April 17th, May 15th. So 30 days. Okay. 30 delta, 17, it's going to pay me 84 cents. Keep that in mind, okay? Just round up $17.85 in premium is what you would make, okay? Keep that in mind. Okay. Now, if you were to do a covered call, buy the shares right now, 1831, and then set a covered call for 20, okay? You can get the same amount of premium, but now you're saying, I want to make $1.70 more to the upside. Okay. So I'm still going to collect the same amount of premium. So that still adjusts my cost basis by 80 cents. Now I'm just being more bullish by wanting to collect $1.70 up instead of protect myself from the dollar down. But ultimately, I'm still setting myself up to protect myself a little bit from the downside by lowering my cost basis by 83 cents if my shares don't get called away. Okay. So this is how I do the wheel strategy when I am more bullish on the action taking place, but I still want to set a little bit of a protection to happen. And again, if you can say, I don't, what's 1833 to 20. So this would be in 30 days, 1833 to 20. Okay. So there's 9% plus 80 cents roughly. So 2080. Okay. So you're looking at about a 13.3% return in 30 days. Okay. My goal is to repeat these things, right? If I can get this 30 days, this is 13%. The last 30 days we just did SoFi, right? We were doing CSPs. We were collecting, let me go to it here. What were we collecting on these CSPs for SoFi? SoFi, CSP, 8%, 10% the previous 30 days. Okay. So now we can get another 13% the next 30 days, right? We're on track to still get to 130% per year, our annual return on this stock. But now I can just collect a little bit more than doing the CSP route. Okay. So just helps me protect. Now, SoFi is probably one of the safer ones to collect premium. Your implied volatility, guys, remember I told you implied volatility is how juicy these premiums are. Okay. 60, 90, or sorry, 60%, 70% premiums. That's like the minimum of premiums I'm willing to collect and run the wheel strategy on. Okay. Now, for example, IREN ones. Okay. These ones are hundreds, in the hundreds, May 15th, 103%. You can see that the premiums are significantly juicy. I can go from 47, set a covered call for 55, and still collect $3 per share, right? They get juicier, but they're more risky. They're more volatile. The company can go from 47 to 30, 37 to 35, right, really quick, but it could also go 47 to 60 super quick. So it's your risk tolerance. There's a portion of your portfolio that can be this risky. There's a portion, the majority of your portfolio should be something that's more like a SoFi risk, still lots of growth potential, but volatility is more like 60, 70, okay? Because there's plays to be made like this where we can catch. This is basically for that play that we did is $11 to the upside. We bought it at, what was the trade alert? Do you guys remember? And you guys, you can drop questions. I see the chat. So if you have questions come up or examples that you want me to go over of like why do this, that's what I want to go over. I want to answer questions. If you have the basic questions of what is an option, ask it. There's no dumb questions. There's only dumb answers, and those come from me. So I was going to show, okay. Oh, I'm like, why isn't my Discord pulling up? I'm looking at you guys in the chat. That's why. Okay. Where's the IREN trade right here? IREN. So I bought them for $46.17 and immediately set a $55 strike plus 283. So that is 57.83 minus, because it's strike plus the premium, minus 46.17. So it's $11.66 trade. If I don't sell them for 55 and I collect 283, my cost average comes down, or I'll make $11 in 30 days and I have no complaints about it, right? I'm not greedy when it comes to the market. Can things moon? Yes, but what is the likelihood of things mooning? Okay, holding out for a moon case, you missed out on all the other opportunities of premiums and everything to collect along the way. Sure, one's going to burn you. It's going to happen. But you got burned in a winning situation. The worst is when we get burned and we just lost money. When we get burned, we still made money. We didn't lose. We just didn't make as much as we could have, but we made money. So don't get so caught up on it. So if you bought right now, right, is what you're asking? Which one would I do? I think I would do the 21. And really, they have earnings coming up. They're not too far from earnings, a week and a half away. I think SoFi crushes it. Now, SoFi in the past crushes earnings and the stock gets manipulated. Could be different this time. It feels different this time, but I'm just such a bull on SoFi that I have covered calls on my other accounts, in my like retirement accounts and stuff, because it's premium. I don't care. I can just keep collecting and I don't pay taxes on that stuff. But May 15th would be the shortest date I would do. And again, yeah, I would, for me, I believe in the company and I think 20 can definitely happen, and then like fight this 20, right? There's a mental blockage of like, hey, when the stock gets to 20, I'm going to sell it, right? There's that mental block. So you could hit the 20, or to play it slightly safer, you'd go the 21. Just depends on how much premium you really want, right? 30 delta is kind of our default. So you're picking one of these, right? This is just saying how likely you want to get called away. So 20% chance, right? Keep my shares, but get the $37 or $55, less likely, right? I'm pretty confident in SoFi's earnings. I'm still holding past trade IREN call. I think, Ella, I honestly think if you want to time that, you can, but I think a lot of people this year have a price target of IREN to like 80 to 100. If this rally continues, we might have a small pullback for IREN, right? There's a gap fill to 43, but I think that you could see that one option turn out very well for you. Yeah. I can pull up IREN all through X. Okay. I can show you my Fibonacci extensions, but if you look again, I don't know if you guys saw Premium Flow's chart inside the Discord now. He's been charting. He was in another Discord that I'm in. I just asked him like, hey, do you do this for fun or like what's kind of going on? He's like, yeah, I just do it for fun. If I'm already charting it, I'll share it. I'm like, cool. Like if you just want to share your charts so we can get an idea, maybe you have a different perspective. Like he just sold some of his IREN right now. Because he's like, I'll re-enter because he thinks it's going to reject. If the market rips, I think it just breaks through. I don't think we see this rejection. I'm okay if it rejects because then we'll get to collect our premium of our covered calls, and then we get to enjoy the next one, which the long investor is really good at charts. He's not great on time frames, I would say, in my experience with him. But he is pretty good with his Fibonacci level extensions, and he believes by the end of the year could be close to 150. Again, I don't trust his time frame of like things happening, but he's pretty good with hitting targets. Okay. So he has a target, long-term target of a 150. So that's the part where it's like you can follow, but options are a little more harder to time where I would like keep your option to run and then my shares I would look to set covered calls, let them go and let the option keep going. Because you can continue to run wheels on shares, but let your premium or your options run. And then there's been activity. Perfect. Yeah, just keep doing that. I think that's a great way. I'm going to start implementing it more when I collect premium, start putting that premium right to work. Again, this guy believes it's broken out. I don't believe that chart. I think a lot of people don't believe that, but again, Jake sees it, but Jake doesn't really. Does he tell us our time frame here? He believes we broke out of a small wedge. So I don't think Elwa for me. I would close your January 2027. The rally I think is just starting. Again, whether or not next week or something like small little pullback here, but I think we're out of the woods unless they say bombs away. But then there's a whole different story to go along with it. Okay. Sorry, work. All right. Okay. There's a few of you guys. I can go through all my X stuff too, but yeah, I think there's significant reach. I think they're gonna make a deal completely. But this guy Peter, okay, great. I listen to him. I don't follow everything he says, but it's another great one to hear. But he has this indicator he uses, which if you guys notice, it probably looks pretty similar to something we have. Okay. Okay. It's called the flow right here. Okay. It's starting to creep back to green. See last time? 3 little light red bars before April. We got the diamond the week before, and then off to the races were green, right? He basically just fully, when this turns red, he fully exits and he misses the bottom. He waits till it flips green, but he does it with the monthly. I don't know. It's super lagged. I don't trust it. I think some of the opportunities that he specifically tries to avoid are some of the best opportunities for those companies. So just be careful what you're watching. I want to go over any questions. Dog, I know you're probably working, but if you do have anything, please let me know. Miguel, keep up the good work. I see you in the Discord. Doing great. There's Tem on a 10% breakout. You got your weekly diamond happening. Okay. Looks like this is going to flip green as well. So Tem looks like obviously a 10% day. You can see if we can get a red day, moment to populate. But I think ABCL is also broke out. Yep. ABCL breaking out. Okay. Lots of charts. Lots of charts. Yep. Rocket Lab. Space. I mean, Space has done a big run, and then Amazon kind of wiped them out. A little momentum shift. ONDS kind of sitting here. It doesn't look ready. You can see the stochastic is still kind of trending downwards. Okay. I don't think it's quite ready for the big breakout people are calling for. I think it still has a minute. You can see when everything starts lining up is the ideal time. Okay. For example, I'm sure like Iran is starting to get that. This has bottomed. This is trending this way. The curl is happening where like this is going down, this is going up, like mixed signals through. I'm like, okay, no, I want as many indicators as I can to be on the same page with each other. Like this. Curling, 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 shifting. I would like a green momentum or volume bar. That would be ideal, but that'll probably be next week. Just like the diamond, depending on the day, but the diamond will probably be next week for SoFi. We'll see. I'm just being proactive, getting in it. I believe in the company. I believe in Noto. I believe in earnings coming up. Just not even going to stress about it. It's a company like I've said in the past, I'll put 100% of my portfolio on, and I will sleep like a baby. Archer doing its thing again. Just now getting this is the part where I said Archer still does have a little bit of downside potential on the bottom, right? It could go down to low fours. It got to high fours, but didn't get to low fours. So just be aware. I took a position, dollar cost down. I needed to. Now my position is manageable. What other ones you guys want to go over? I want to get these bots. Okay, I can show you guys a little bit about these bots. Okay. I'm in a trial version on their own Discord or whatever, which is great, but it doesn't really alert me. But here it is. Palantir. Somebody just put $623,000 on a Palantir option 140 strike by the 1st of next month. Okay. Boom. Ask means they bought, bid means they sold, right? When we sell an option, it means it's a bid. And when we buy an option, it's an ask. I wish they would put ask and then in parentheses buy. I already asked for them to do that right here. Ask, but not ask buy. They should do that to help people with other brokerages. Nice. Damien with a good win today. Oops, sorry. Damien with a $1,200 or something. So let's see. Tesla 375 put. Okay. 417. So just for today. Do we have any of our names? Here's Oracle. $1 million position. 160 call for 3 months out. Okay. So like if you are interested when a name populates, right? If you're a bull on Google, right? And you see somebody is buying puts, right? For 2 weeks out, just know that there might be some turbulence. These are unusual activity. Okay. These aren't going to be like, oh, somebody bought one contract. No, this is $500,000 and higher contracts happening. Microsoft puts. Okay. Apple calls. Okay. Doesn't mean they're right, but if you see a big order come in, right? If we get a diamond, for example, on SoFi, and all of a sudden an order for $500,000 also is going in, and we're about to get a diamond, probably a good move, right? You could follow that one. We see it, big money, big whales see it. We should probably dive. So this is what this is going to be. It's almost like a stock screener of whales. And then we can go check our charts and see if it's something we want to play. Here's an IBIT 45 strike. That seems interesting. I didn't think they were trading that high. That's really weird. I thought, isn't IBIT like $1? Oh no. Okay, good. 45. So he thinks Bitcoin's going to run. So that's what we would get to see with those bots. On top of that, some of you like it, some of you don't, but dark pool. Okay, dark pool is large amounts of transactions moving, okay, You and I on our normal brokerage accounts cannot see these transactions happening because they are so big. They would move the market in an insane amount. So they happen in the pretty much in the dark web. Okay. They happen on a separate transaction line because it would affect the market too much. But you don't know which way the transaction was happening. So this guy, or whoever this was, on the QQQ sold or bought $100 million worth. Okay. We need to look at our indicators and see, are we bullish on the QQQ right now, or are we bearish on the QQQ right now? Or if it was on, again, I'll just keep using it, SoFi. If I saw $100 million on SoFi right now and our indicators look to me like we're flipping the script and we're going to turn bullish, I would assume that is $100 million buy. Okay. Doesn't mean you follow these, but you take these as a stock screener. Somebody did $163 million worth of JP Morgan. Okay, well, didn't JP Morgan just go off? That was at 8:30 this morning. So JP Morgan, didn't they have earnings or something? Yeah. So today, JP Morgan, 8:30. Oh, they're flat. Oh, we got the diamond yesterday. So, but there's big money. They either believe it's going down or up. We see momentum going up. We see curling happening, flows increasing. MACD is crossing. I would assume that they bought a stupid amount of JP Morgan. So that's what those bots are going to do for us. We're close to getting it. I don't know if you guys have anybody. There's Save 25, which is going to be 6 months off, 25%. Still slightly more expensive than the Founders Club, but an incentive. I'm trying to get people to get signed up, get friends, families, and to unlock the feature of bots for us as well, for those that are already in the community. So hopefully we can get that taken care of. Look at you on the run. All right. What else do you guys need? What do you guys need? What do you guys want? What do we want to go over? Strategies. If you guys just want to catch big moves, just focus on weekly time frames only. Only focus on weekly time frames. If you want to catch all the little moves in between, then switch to your daily time frames. You want to be a bot boy? Looks like financials are just staying there steady, which is good. I would love HIMS. I think like HIMS is still bullish on the weekly. We crossed and we're still there. Volume is still increasing. Flow is still increasing. Crossed over. MACD is still going up. Okay. I would assume 40. We're on our way to 40. 40 to 30, 30 then up. Okay. So yep. Oscar, chop all you want. Chop all you want. Preferably go down if you could. What else do you guys need? What do you guys want to go over? I'm here for questions. My goal again, teach. What's up, Cynthia? Hive. Right? Woo! I try to keep in my memory of like what everyone kind of owns. I think Hive, right? Cynthia, don't make me look crazy right now. Because we got the buy, yesterday. Flow increasing. A cross is going to happen. Cross happened here. Looks like the MACD also crossed. Boom. Rock and roll, Cynthia. Back up you go. Oh, she's typing. Nice. Good job, Cynthia. Drive safe. Don't stop looking at your phone. Jeez Louise. I'm just kidding. All right. Dave, how are you doing? You've been in the community for you're kind of new. Everything going good? Harry, everything going good? Dog, you're working. Keep at it. Is everything making sense? Awesome. Perfect. No, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate tuning in even while at work. Let's see here. I'm trying to see what's kind of going on. Mag 7s, Amazon's just slightly flat red, but Tesla's on the move. Yeah, TSLL up 10%. Wow. Where's Miguel? He's got to be up big on those lottos he took yesterday. Let's see. My TSL did not print because I got in the $20 strike. Oh, a couple weeks ago. Yep, we were slightly timed that one off. Dave, sorry about that. One more green day. Which ones are you thinking are going to be getting out of shortly? Well, let's take a look at a few. Iren turned green. Iren's just going to be a monster right now. OSS 2, guys, is a monster in the making. I know it's overvalued. Not overvalued. It's just not super undervalued compared to other things. But the market cap is also only 239 million. One contract for them, and like it pulls an ONDS where ONDS was like 50 cents. And then all of a sudden within 6 months, it was $10, right? That's what will happen. So this is $10. And just to get to a billion would be 5 times. So it'd be a $50 stock to get to 1 billion. Okay. They'll dilute and everything. I know that. But I'm just saying, like, one contract. All it takes is one contract, and it starts running like crazy. I don't own any. It's been on my watch list. I just whenever everything else is so undervalued, it's hard to not just focus on those ones. Microsoft, Oracle. Okay, yeah. Okay, yes, I agree. Your long calls, if you can get close to break even or out, yeah, take it. I forgot about those. You should be getting close, right? You are close. Microsoft, though, I know you a couple. Dave, what are you talking about? A couple more days of Microsoft. We do got the diamond going. So, hey, let's go, Dave. Good work, Dave. Yeah, we're getting the diamond just like we did on Microsoft last April. We are getting the diamond so far right now for Microsoft on the weekly time frame. That is a good sign. Okay. Your Oracle one, we know we got that one, so that's good. Let me pull up. I don't know where I'm at on my portfolio, to be honest. This is my little joint account. So you can see here, this is a joint account. This isn't a public account that I just share trades with because it's not just mine. So, but we own Iren, Archer, and SoFi, and we just constantly are running the wheel, just constantly, just doesn't matter, don't care where the stock's going, what it's doing, just constantly setting strikes above where I own it and setting CSPs. Always just running it. Okay. So cover calls, SoFi, cover call, SoFi, cover call on Iren, covered call on Archer. So by May 15th, I could own nothing, but I know what I'll make. So, and I'm good with it. All right. Here we are. What's our account doing this week? I'm curious if we're gonna get these. So yeah, you're crushing me. But let's see. We are up 9% this week in the account. HIMS 22 CSP expires this Friday. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. It's currently 21.86. HIMS or SoFi 18 this Friday. It's 1840. I don't know if I'm going to get it. These two currently, if SoFi got to 20 or 1950, then I would close it because there's not a chance that I'm going to get it. But 1840, Still a chance I can get it. Hims obviously still below 22, so I'm gonna wait because I want those. I want these shares. I'm definitely gonna get these 30. Not worried about it. 22s, and then we have covered calls. So we're protected on Iren, Cypher, Oscar. These are the ones I have covered calls on. Okay. I don't have any currently on PGY. I think that it's super undervalued. Financials will move. They're nowhere close. PGY to all-time highs has 300% to go. 300%. Just get halfway there. I don't need you to get all the way back. Halfway is good with me. It was just there 6 months ago. Right? We're in Archer. I'm going to wait till we can get back. I still believe in Archer, so I'm going to wait till we can get a little bit closer, and then I'll probably start setting some covered calls on some of them. Not on all of them. But the speculative high 100% volatility ones, I like to do covered calls, protect myself to the downside as they can move significantly. I'm trying to think if there was something else I wanted to go over with you guys and talk to you guys about. I'm trying to think. Oh, yes, there is something. Okay. Very important. Do not. I will never ask you guys to send money. Never. Okay? Unfortunately, somebody got, okay, by a scammer, by somebody trying to impersonate me as somebody not inside of the Discord, but privately messaging them outside the Discord. They're not in the community, so I don't know how they do it, but there's nothing I can do to prevent it from happening from them directly messaging you. So if you get a direct message, okay, you join or your friends join or whatever, and they get a direct message from me ever asking to do anything, hand over money, put money into this account, do something. If I'm directly telling you something like that, it's not me. Okay? I teach people, I help them. We go with the indicators. I show you guys. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. Hey, I got this message, guys. Is this Colby? Right? Do not blindly just do whatever somebody's asking you to do in a direct message. No. You will get a message. They are telling you to sign up, put money into this brokerage, and it'll automatically trade for you. And I would assume that money, the second you deposit it, is gone. So, no. Yeah. Oh, is more your question? Yeah, block and report them. Obviously, please make sure it is not me, so you don't block and report me. But yes. Is your questions more on when I buy shares and set covered calls, what is my thought process, or why would we do that if we're bullish? What's kind of the thought? And if it's just yes, then I'll go over it all. Breaks my rule. Well, ultimately by doing it, I'm doing a CSP is really what I'm trying to recreate, but allowing myself a little bit more upside. Okay. And it's always hard to say, like, I would say that these aren't normal times, right? So we have to adapt to our surroundings, right? Everything seems bullish, but could this weekend or whatever be a sneak attack from Iran, right? Yeah, I'm not going to throw those kind of things out of the question. I don't know them. I don't trust, anyone that's trying to do whatever our government's telling us they're trying to do, right? So like people who kind of have views in the world of potentially mass destruction, right? I'm not going to throw anything out the window as far as they wouldn't do it, right? So there are definitely certain things where you have to adapt. I am bullish on a lot of these companies. All the companies we own, I'm bullish. Obviously, I'm not buying companies I'm bearish on. But I am very protective of right now of plays. Okay. So when I buy a stock, okay, and you got to think, what positions do I currently have open that this kind of helps? Okay. So for example, the IREN one, right? I owned IREN. I have a covered call at 41. We blew past 41. For me, I still had cash, right? We still had cash set on the sideline. For me, it didn't make sense to roll that one, okay? Because it just kept getting green, 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 green. There wasn't a day for it to pull back for me to get a premium adjustment of like the market makers making everyone think that it's going to go down further for me to roll. Okay. So what did I do? I ended up outright buying some, and then the premium I set on that covered call lowers my cost basis if it doesn't get called away. And if it does get called away on this other one, right? Then no problem. I'm happy with what I'll make. If it does not get called away, right, and I collected $3, I bought it for 46, I'm buying it for 41. Well, when I had my CSPs, I was trying to buy it for 43 and 40, but instead I collected all that premium. Okay? So I'm still kind of in the same wheelhouse as far as what I'm doing. Okay? Because I tried to buy it for 41, I collected all the premium. I tried to buy it for 40, I collected all the premium. So now I bought some at 46, right? Set a covered call. I collected all that premium. So I've collected like tons of premiums trying to own it, and now I'm collecting some premium trying to sell it. So my adjusted cost basis, I'm going to pull up the spreadsheet. IREN. So IREN right now with my two buys, I bought at 41.56 and 46.17. With my two buys with all the premium collected, my adjusted cost basis is 35.20. Okay. So when I'm looking at all the premium I've made and my total play with IREN that I'm working on, that everything's been, okay, I'm not going to get the CSPs. Let me buy some right now and actually set some covered calls. Because it was close enough to what I was already going to buy the stock for minus some premium. So like, again, ask yourself, am I happy with the way I played the covered call, right? I bought it for 46 and I did the math as far as like, would I be okay owning IREN for 43.17 because of the $3 in premium? I don't remember what it was, 283 in premium. Like, I'm asking myself, was I okay owning it for that? Now, I don't know. Let's go to the IREN chart real quick. And when I bought, the diamond was populating. Okay. So I did my add, right? I added a few more shares, but because I saw that there was our downtrend line, 51, I played it a little safe and I went 55 so I can capture the upside. Okay. So again, my goal really is to help you guys learn the wheel strategy and then implement it into your other strategy of buying stock and selling stock. Okay. Because all I did was imagine no wheel strategy. Imagine. Okay. We got the diamond. I bought shares. All I did was set a covered call to protect the downside. Right? Because what are we supposed to do on the diamonds? Right? Add some. Okay. But I know, right? If we go and we pull up these Bollinger Bands, I'm sure. Okay. Let's see. I know where the daily can go, but we're at the top of the daily. Okay. So yeah, there is going to be some resistance coming up here, like we're kind of facing today. Okay. And the other ones are facing. Okay. So we have some covered calls. So we can protect the downside a little bit and better our situation than outright just buying the stock. Hopefully, this is all making sense. Hopefully, you understand that it's more about protecting myself more than it is, um, like, again, I don't think this is happening again. 33s, 35s. I would say you're going to get, I don't know. There's support a lot at like the low 40s, 42.69, I guess, right here. This like bounce, 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 right? So like 40, I'll just say 43 basically. So my stock I bought it for and the premium I'd get if it can't get to 55 within the next 30 days, or it pulls back, would put me right where I would want to own it based on all this. Does that make sense, or did I completely screw up and you want me to start over? On SPY chart, we have a gap up. Yeah, so again, I hate the SPY. I'm just going to say it now. No one says it, but I hate it. Then the reason for it is it's just so, it's freaking 40% the Mag 7. Okay. SPY gaps. Okay. Let's take a look at the SPY gaps. Didn't fill it. Didn't fill it. Didn't fill it. Right? So, are we going to fill this? Maybe, but not, I don't think anytime this, like, soon. Yeah, look, the weekly's crossed. We're back to bullish now on the SPY, on the weekly. Volume's increasing, flow increased. So, as of right now, I don't think that we see the gap filled. I think that we could see this, like, rally happen and then gap fill or further down. Oh, gotcha. Well, so I was also looking not only at the Bollinger Band, but also that trend line. Where is it? I wasn't just looking at, so this is the weekly band, right? So when I was buying it, we were just right here at the middle band. So this is where I was like, it's not overvalued, not super undervalued. We're kind of right here. And if I set covered calls 55, we're going to be right here at this previous resistance we hit here, and we have a trend line resistance. And if we do hit the top of the band, it's going to hit 63, and maybe within 30 days, right, it hits 63 and then falls back down to 55. A lot of scenarios can play out. 55 is kind of where there's a lot of action taking place. So I was just kind of saying this is a good enough win. This is a good enough protection to the downside, right? I'm happy with the premium. I'm happy with the upside. I'm happy with the company long term, right? There's a lot of things like I'm good with how the whole circle plays out on all scenarios. That's what you have to ask yourself when you're playing covered calls or CSPs. Again, if the stock strike on the expiration date was above, for me, 55, am I happy with what plays out? Yes. Cool. If the stock is below 55 or drops from currently whatever the current price is, and I collect this premium, am I happy? Yes. Okay. You're happy in any scenario that happens. Obviously, the stock goes to zero, you're not happy, but I'm not talking about those kind of scenarios, right? I'm talking about standard market conditions scenarios playing out like they do. Okay. If you're happy with both sides playing out, then why not? Right? So for us, IREN, okay, I'm happy in 31 days collecting 6% in premium. 6% just in premium I'm going to make. Okay. That lowers my cost basis. That does everything we want it to do. Happy with 6%, 30 days, right? We're going to keep a 72% annual return based on the covered call, right? That does not include the strike price premium of 46.17 to 55. 46.17 roughly. to 55, right? That's a 19% return in the stock price plus 6%. So I'm looking at a 25% return in 30 days if called away. Happy. 6% return if it just doesn't get to 55 or comes down a little bit. No problem. What do I also have sitting in my portfolio if it does come down? Well, I have a 41 covered call. So then my scenario could change on that one where I could actually look to now roll that one and better both my situations, right? So I was just looking at this. I pretty much counted my 41 strike I ran as gone. Like, I'm in my mind, IREN 41 is gone May 15th. I'm going to have this capital back and I'll be good. And all I'll have is potentially these 500 shares. Okay. So that's where I was like, I'm willing to take that risk because if it comes down, I'm happy also because now I get to readjust this position and then I'll make that situation better. So there's multiple ways. You can't look at one play when it's a one stock. I need to look at the whole thing together on certain scenarios playing out. And again, if I'm happy with both types of scenarios playing out, then there's no reason to not be a part of it. Right? Again, I don't get greedy with, oh, IREN, like we just said, IREN can go to 150. Absolutely. In the next 30 days, probably not, right? Over the term of a bull run of like 6 months, sure. But 6 months is a lot of time. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm eating for lunch today. Like, I don't know what 6 months down the road looks like. I have an idea, but whether it plays out that way is the unknown. And I know for a fact I will for sure be making 6% on my capital. I don't know if I'm going to make the 25%, but I know for sure I'm going to make 6%. No questions asked, right? So I got to take these off because people keep calling me right now and they keep playing in my ear. What other things? I appreciate the question, guys. Inside the Discord, if you guys put your questions down in the student request, I will upload your questions right here that you guys have, and then I will put them into the classroom. I typically will just upload them here and then at you and then say when to buy diamonds or dog closing CSPs early to sell shares before the expiration date and how does that look, right? So I will put your question and with a video, or if it's just something I need to type out, I can type it out. But you just go to the student request section to kind of see what kind of questions have been asked and whether or not there's answers. If it kind of fits one of my other categories, then I will put it in there. But again, you'll be tagged on that kind of stuff. Okay. What else you guys got? Let's see here. 233% on the TSLL play. Good job on Miguel's play yesterday. Not in that one. Why didn't you tell me, Miguel, that one was going to work? The 2-hour printed buy, sell diamonds, that seems to work for short-term trades on stocks we hold, for example, IREN. Yeah. You can always zoom into the shorter time frames to try to time closer movements. If you want to be quick flipping action. But just remember the 2-hour time frame, right? You sell. It doesn't always mean a big pullback is happening, right? If it says to sell, the pullback could be, 47 to 46. And then it goes back up. So just keep an eye. If you are going to focus on the 2-hour, you need to stay on the 2-hour because don't go 2-hour and then wait for the daily because the daily is 4 of those 2 hours in one, right? So just make sure when you are watching a certain time frame, you're kind of committed to that time frame as well when you're focused on certain plays. Look at that Cypher. That's okay. We like Cypher to go down. We have Cypher covered calls. We don't care. Do what you're going to do, Cypher. No problem. Okay? This is the part where you guys are going to realize when you get the full wheel going, you have a really hard time deciding whether or not you want the market to be green or if you want the market to be red. Obviously, you want the market to be green, but also you want your shares not get called away, but get called away. It's a really big mixed bag of emotions because either way, you're making money. Just depends on which money do you want to make first, I guess. So nice, Damien with the day trade. He's at 7,800 so far today, guys. So I know I've been talking to Damien as well, trying to get him part of community trades. I know you guys are really interested in his day trades. I think he's focusing on trying to get comfortable notifying at the same time because he watches 1 minute and 2 minute candles. Okay, the second he buys, he needs to focus because it's only 1 minute candles, right? So then he needs to put a trade alert out, still watch it. He needs to sell it and then still let you know fast enough, right? So he's trying to find how to make it work. If he can, then cool. We'll get something going for him inside the community so you guys can follow. But I'm letting him do his thing, figure out his thing, make sure he's comfortable before any of that. But I know a lot of you guys want to follow some of the day trades. Look at Archer going 608. Hims, SoFi still just bouncing right there. Oscar finally went green. PGY still trailing up. Yeah, guys. Again, this is gonna feel just like last time where we're gonna get this little big rally and everyone's gonna be like, okay, when do we sell? Okay. The diamonds again, the same way it doesn't time the bottom, right? But it doesn't also time the top, but we are going to get the big majority of the move. Now, if you want to try to be proactive and time the top a little bit better, you can by using the indicators and kind of telling when we're going to get close to things, right? But so if I could hit 45 and the diamond's going to tell you to sell at 42, right? But that 45 could have also ran to 55, right? Not going to time the top. You can just sit back, wait for diamonds to alert you to sell or buy or whatever. But that's the point of it, is to make it super easy. Kind of just tells you when to do it. If you want to be proactive, running the wheel strategy, making some income so you can retire earlier and not have to rely on the W-2 job and everything, then the wheel strategy is what you want to do because you're going to be able to generate enough income per month, not even including the strike price, right? My goal is to survive off the premium, and then the strike price is what my account really grows off of, or any additional income or premium per month that I don't need to withdraw to survive stays in there. So as of right now, like you can see for covered calls wise, guys. Oh, let me go to it. Oh, wrong one. Dashboard. Let me zoom in. Okay. So as of right now for May, we're not even in May. We're in April. In May, with our covered calls we currently have set up, we are collecting $8,700 in premium. I made enough for May to pay all my bills. I'm done, right? You can do it. You're kind of doing it 30 days in advance, right? So we're done. We made the money. Now I don't have to do any covered calls or be aggressive because I have enough to survive off of, right? I can let things play out a little bit more if I want to, now that my next month is covered. Okay. But when do you get doing this, right? You sell them and you get the money, and it's really for the following month. So you do it in advance. What's going on, Trevor? Good job on the PGY. Good work, Trevor. We got a long way to go, but absolutely. Financials have just been beat down as if no rate cuts are ever going to happen in this entire lifetime. And same thing, Hood's rocking, right? Again, we're not going to time the top, but we sure as enough are going to know when this momentum's flipping. You could get into Hood. Whether or not you want to wait for a different red day to present itself is going to be up to you. But you're good. You can buy some Hood. This is why, but which ones ran up a little bit less is SoFi. These charts look identical. It's insane. Boom. What company am I looking at, right? We played this game last time. SoFi. Good. Same freaking chart. I'm riding SoFi. The reason Hood is moving up is because of the day trading news. I don't know if you guys saw that. Was they're gonna now be changing the restrictions on day trading. Um, Damien got out a little too early, he said. So that's why, with Hood being such a big day trading platform, high activity contracts, all that kind of stuff, and now that being removed, is going to just increase the amount. I don't know about deposits into them because everyone's going to have that, but it is going to increase the activity and contract fees that they make. Trevor, get your Zeta out of here. No, software. BBAI and Soundhound are the two I'm mainly focused on, but yeah. Soundhound getting the diamond. Was getting at the diamond 11% today. Zeta, still no diamond. Still volume decreasing. I mean, it is going to get a diamond, but I just don't love that chart as much. But that's just me. You know me, Trevor. I'm not the Zeta guy. I'm your SoFi guy. That's me. But software's been beat down. For this one, it's the momentum 2-hour daily, weekly, monthly. And then this histogram, Sub, the chill momentum elite, is the Williams percentage. So see how this flipped green? It's because it crossed. Boom. Bullish momentum. Okay. So yeah, I like Soundhound. I think I want to buy some. I really don't love buying on 11% up days. So you'll probably, it is tough. But the week's not over. So I can wait. Because technically, again, default setting for the strategy is the weekly confirms on Friday. You would buy on Monday. Back testing wise, that's how the strategy is ran. So if I get an opportunity between now and Monday, I will buy some. Soundhound is on my top ones to buy. So is BBAI. Monster day for these software companies. Software is beat down, guys. It is what it is. It's not even moving because of bullishness. Why are they moving? Because they're super undervalued. Super beat down. Claude's taking over the world. At least that's the rumor. Okay. Archer, yep. Navitas doing great. Any more questions? What else you guys want to go over? TSLL's up 13%. We'll be contributing. Basically, I've figured out our premium for the month, so I is going to be 20. So I will be contributing 2,000 to our income ETF. So this is what Damien's looking at. He's looking at Bird. Sounds good, Trevor. Have a good one. He's looking at Bird. It's up a crazy amount. He looks at the 1 minute. Let me go to the trading one. Okay, this is what he's looking at. And he goes to like 1 minute. And then he has like a 5. So basically, big volume, pops over the 5, holds on to it, and then he's like trading these little moves here. And then once it breaks again above, big volume happens. He's in it for the long. Still didn't break below or close below this line, so he's still in it, still in it, still in it. Okay, that's what he's doing. He's playing the 1 minute and playing the EMA basically. So, Rensing Trades just made a trade as well. He just sold covered calls on TSLL. There's 1021, so I'd be more happy to get rid of them. So he set some for 16 strike. So nice. I support other communities, guys. I'm in other communities as well. I talk to them, see how things are going, bring their knowledge into my knowledge, and then my knowledge gets shared into you guys. Everyone does things just a little bit different, but for the most part, it's all fairly similar. What's the big ones today? Weeble, Dave, or who asked me about Bull? Somebody did. It's on a run. Diamond alerted. Right? Weekly. Oops. Bull, 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 bull. Weekly. We just charted this one. Yep, boom. It was before this 11% day was the diamond populating. Sounds good, Harry. Talk to you later. Oklo up 11% also. And you got a diamond. This is the thing. All of them are triggering, guys. Pretty much pick your poison. Pick your portfolio. Choose what your portfolio is going to hold. Okay? Pick it. It's all running. Alrighty. Alrighty, guys. I'm going to head out. I got a work meeting. If you guys have any questions or want me to go over anything, please let me know. Okay? I'm happy to go over it. I'm happy to make videos. If you guys make, like I said, student requests, put them in there. I'll make videos, share them, all that good stuff. So, any more questions before we hop off? Nope, nothing in chat. All right, I assume you guys are either driving or working, so I'm going to talk to you guys later. I appreciate all your support. If you guys need help finding where to get your custom link to invite friends so we can get to these bots inside our community, please let me know. Happy to show you guys how to do that, and that way you guys can get paid to invite people. I appreciate you. I'll see you guys in the community later.